What's going on, everyone? I hope you all are doing well. So, as promised in my last video, I'm going to do a small update on CPI today. I have small presentation on CPI, like how it can impact the market, how it can impact gold, currency pairs, and indices. Okay, so I'm just going to discuss one by one, like how it can impact the market. So, without wasting time, let's jump into it. Okay, so today is 10th of August, CPI day, and what to focus on CPI day is CPI year on year and CPI month on month. Okay, if we talk about CPI month on month, the previous reading was 0.2%, and the expected is 0.2%. Okay, it is same as last reading. If we talk about CPI year on year, the previous reading was 3%, which was really good data, and we have seen a massive dollar strength in last CPI because the inflation dropped to 3%, which is close to Fed's 2% goal. Okay, so that is why we saw a massive strength in US dollar in last CPI, and gold was bearish as well. Okay, so this is going to be our focus for today. Okay, so what can happen, I will be discussing one by one. So in the case number first, the CPI month on month reading, if it comes as 0.2% and CPI year on year falls within 3% or 0.3% and 3.3%. Okay, so this case is fully priced in. Okay, and market has already prepared for it, that inflation month on month can remain same to 0.2%. Okay, and from last few days we have been seeing dollar strength in New York session, US session. So this is going to be a baseline, this is going to be a base case where we will see whipsaws. We will not see a much like higher movement or much volatile movement. The market can trend within the range and ultimately can be bearish, can be bullish in terms of dollar strength, and bearish in terms of gold. Okay, so that would be a good news for Americans, and okay, that this will be a short term, like it can remain in the range, and it will be a bullish factor for dollar. Okay, gold will be bearish because this is what we have been seeing, the current trend. If we talk about, the dollar index is rising and gold is bearish. Okay, so this is going to be our base case, where we are not expecting much volatility, but at the end of the day, all in all, we will see strength in dollar and weakness in gold, which is current trend. Okay, so if this is going to be the case, gold may spike up to 1925 before getting down to 1900s and 1905. Okay, and if we talk about indices may be short term bullish, and the US 30 may spike up to 35,450 or 35,500, and then break below 35,100. Okay, with this case I am not expecting it to like going to 34,500. It will not be that much movement, but yeah, it will break below 35,100 and maybe below to 35,000. Okay, and if we talk about Euro USD, GBP USD, and all USD pairs will follow the same trend and same formation, and so the Euro USD may spike up to 1.1050 to 1.1080, and then break down to 1.0950 and 1.08. Okay, so this is what market is expecting. The 0.2% CPI month on month reading is fully priced in, so it will not be a surprise to the market because we have seen the inflation is already in control, and dollar is getting stronger, and so this is going to be our base case. It will not be a surprise. Okay, so this is what can happen if we are seeing the readings like this. Okay, so this is going to be our case number one. If we talk about case number two, okay, where we are seeing inflation getting elevated. Okay, let's say the CPI month on month reading goes to 0.3%, and core CPI year on year goes to 3.4% and 3.5%. What we are expecting in terms of CPI month over month is 0.2, but it is going to 0.3. Okay, and what we are expecting in terms of CPI year on year is 3.3, but what is coming 3.4, 3.5%. Like it is, if this is going to be case, then what does it mean? That inflation got elevated, and like market will expect a September rate hike. Okay, and it will bring risk of sentiment. Okay, higher the inflation, it will be good for the currency. Okay, let's say the inflation gets higher, it will be the good for the base currency, so it will be a bullish factor for US dollar. If we talk about gold, if we are seeing inflation higher, then like it can make impulsive move down to 1890s, and it can trade below 1910. Market is not expecting such good reading, because we have already seen that US has got control over inflation numbers. So like further good reading is not something market is expecting, and if it is going to be the case, then we will see a massive dollar strength. And hello, this case is fully priced. Okay. Yeah, so I was on the second case, and actually it was unannounced electricity cut in my area, so I got stopped in between. So I will just continue from where I have stopped. Okay, so we were discussing the case number 2, and the case number 2 is where like we are seeing the inflation is elevated, like the inflation is improved. CPI month on month is going to 0.3%, and year on year is going to 3.4, 3.5%. So it will keep the expectation of September rate hike, and it will bring the risk of sentiment. Okay, so what will happen in gold? Like gold will move, it will make a move down to 1890s, and it will break below 1910. I think this we have already discussed. So like I was on Euro USD. So Euro USD will break 1.0950, and it will continue moving down to 1.075. Okay, so this is going to be the case for if we are seeing the inflation elevated. Okay, and the third possibility is which everyone is expecting, and I think which is most unlikely case from here, because inflation has significantly dropped, and market is not expecting a further drop in the inflation month on month and year on year. Okay, so third case is going to be where inflation month on month drops to 0.1%, and year on year goes below 3.0%, which is highly unlikely. This will be data which will be quite negative for US dollar and highly bullish for gold. Okay, but this is not going to happen in my view. Okay, so the third case in my opinion is going to be unlikely, and I'm not expecting the case number third, but we will be keeping it on table for you guys to understand. Okay, so it will be absolutely a shock to the market, and it will be good for gold. Gold might break above 1925, 1930, and it can further move up to 1950 and 1955. Okay, talking about the indices, it is very easy for stock market to go on the bull side rather than on bearish side. Okay, so the greedy stock market buyers will not leave this chance, and it can further move above 35,500 and break above it and it can reach up to 36,200 or 36,300. Okay, because inflation number has dropped, so there will be no possibilities for further rate hikes, and it will be a positive shock to the market. Okay, stock market will get benefited. Okay, if we talk about Euro USD, like inflation numbers are low, so it will not be good for dollar, and that is the reason Euro USD, GBP USD, and all USD pairs will show some sign of bullishness, and Euro USD can further move up and trade above 1.1050, and it can move up to 1.1150. Okay, so these are the three cases highlighted with different colors. If you want, you can have one screenshot for your reference, and you can use it in your trading. Okay, so the case number first, which is most likely to happen, and I would go with the case number first. Okay, the inflation will be as per the expectation of the market, but ultimately it will be good for dollar and negative for gold. Okay, the case number 2, where we are seeing inflation numbers getting higher, and this is also looks unlikely, because it can happen. The first chance, like the most likely to happen, is case number 1, then case number 2, and then case number 3. Okay, so there are all possibilities we have already discussed. Still, if you have any questions or any queries, just give me a message on Telegram or WhatsApp and I will be happy to help. Okay, so that's all about CPI today. I hope you like this video, and if there anything I missed, just let me know. I will clear it for you guys. Okay, so if you like this video, gives a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and keep in touch. Thank you, and all the best for CPI.